Can you tell the difference between these two herbs? Apparently, a lot of people confuse these two herbs, but they are in the same family, but they are different herbs. Let's talk about it. Let me introduce you to my lemon balm bush. This is one of many growing here in my hillside garden because just like mint, they actually spread through their roots, and thankfully this one doesn't spread as aggressive as the mint, so it's a lot more manageable in case you do want to grow this in your beds or in your in-ground garden. And that is why I'm okay with this being on my hillside. Also, there could be so many things that can kill my herbs, so therefore I am allowing a few popping out here and there. And what I do usually is I transplant them to pots. I pull them out if I don't want them where they're growing, or I just simply give them away. Or lastly, I will transplant them. This lemon balm smells amazing. Believe it or not, it smells citrusy, and they have absolutely nothing to do with citrus, but the smell is amazing. And I think that's where they get the name lemon balm. And a lot of people have been confusing this and with mint. And I'm going to show you a few differences between the mint and the lemon balm. Although they do look very similar, they're actually different. Let me just add that you can actually grow both the mint and the lemon balm in a place where it has full sun or in partial shade. So they get pretty acclimated as soon as they get established. So when you first plant them, you're going to want to heavy water them for a while. Let me show you a close-up of what the lemon balm looks like in case you're not familiar with it. The lemon balm tends to have longer stems coming out from the bottom of the plant, and then you get these beautiful, beautiful little leaves. Let me show you the difference. I don't know if you can tell, that is mint and that is lemon balm. I'm gonna put them side by side on a table so you guys can see them a little bit better. But the growing habits, it's a little bit different. The stems are softer, they're more flexible. The lemon balm is a little bit more delicate. As soon as you cut them off the bush, you're going to be able to see that it's going to start to wilt right away. I guess now you can kind of see why the confusion is between lemon balm and mint. Although they do come from the same family, they are different plants. They do smell different. They do taste different. They do have different stems. And they're both aggressive in growing, although the lemon balm is not as aggressive as the mint. Let me show you another lemon balm growing just a few feet away from the one I just showed you. It has been here for a couple years. It is perennial, so you're going to have them here for a while if you keep allowing them to be. They do well in zone 7 and up. And as you can see here, this one has been thriving. This little plant was the original plant, and it actually gave birth to that plant. And there's another baby plant on the other side of this mother, and I'll go over there so you guys can see her. Let me see. Here you go. Here is another, actually a couple babies growing here. And I'm probably going to have to remove this one because it's very close to the mother. This is actually my pathway. And as you can see how wide they grow about 3 to 4 feet. So I definitely want to remove this, transplant it, put it in a pot or do something with it because my pathway has already been taken over by a patch of kale from its self-seeding, and I do not want that. I need pathways to walk through here. But for now, I am just taking a few at a time to feed to my chickens. Let's go see what the mint looks like in its growing habits and how I have it growing. I do want to point out that in many other countries in the Hispanic community, the lemon balm is actually known as a completely different name. A lot of people were confusing it with the mint, the yerba buena, and that is the reason why I'm making this video, because I'm curious to know in the English or American world, does everybody know this plant as lemon balm? And the Hispanic community, I was shocked. There was about 8 different names for the same plant. Some of them calling yerba buena limon, some of them call him Trujillo, some of them call him Melissa. I can't remember all the names, but I was shocked on how many different names they had for this one plant. And I'm just, I want to share the difference. I'm curious to know if you guys or many people have the same confusion when they see this herb. And that's why I am pointing out the differences between these herbs. I'm going to show you how I'm growing my mint right now and why I'm growing it this way. All right, I had to turn you guys around so you guys can see how I'm growing this mint. It is in a large container, as you guys can see, but it originally didn't start in this container. I had it in a smaller container, but because I was falling so behind in watering, I just kind of compacted all of my plants so I could just water all at once. And it's actually a good method to use to water multiple plants and help the other plants retain moisture, because the pots on top of the pots help retain the moisture, so it kind of acts like a mulch layer, if you would say. And as you guys know, I mentioned in my previous videos, I've neglected a lot of my plants for the last 2 years. I'm trying to get back at it, and I'm trying to find ways that are the simplest ways and the least amount of time out in the garden to take care. And I've actually come up with a few methods that I'll share with you guys in a different video. But let me point out how this is in this big pot, right? I'm going to bring you guys closely in a second. But before I do that, I want to point out that you do not want to grow mint in a raised bed, because mint grows very aggressively. In my previous garden, on my previous home, I was growing mint in a pot, but somehow one of the roots came out of the pot and went from all the way behind my backyard to the front of my courtyard, and it started popping out everywhere. So it could be kind of dangerous because it could take over a lot of your plants. And if you're growing any vegetables, that's going to prevent your vegetables from their roots getting established and growing and getting all the nutrients that they need to grow and thrive. So you're gonna wanna not do that, and you don't want to prevent your plants from thriving and growing. I'm getting tired of sitting or doing this, so let me get up and show you guys. Right, I got you guys off the tripod because I really want you guys to see how I'm growing the mint, and look at the difference between the mint and the lemon balm. I would say that the leaves have a little bit more texture to it. Also, the leaves come directly off the stem, where the lemon balm comes with a little stem coming off the stem. So I'll point those out in a little bit side by side, but this is what I'm talking about. I actually had the mint growing in a pot, put it on top, but now I can't pull it off because the roots have rooted into this, which would explain why this little mint is thriving and growing. I've already taken multiple mints out of this, and it's going to continue to thrive and grow because I am sure that it's taking full advantage of this beautiful soil that's in here. I might try to grow something in here like a zucchini, just an experiment to see if the roots of the mint will allow this to grow and thrive. It never hurts. One of my concerns that I do have is, since this big container, and I already know that the roots are part of the big container, I do not want the roots to come out through the draining holes, start rooting through the earth right below me, and start spreading. So what I'm going to have to do eventually is get a tray to put this pot in. Um, Mint does not struggle if it has a lot of water. So even if the tray captures the water and it sits in water for a little bit or a few days, it's going to be totally fine. And that's what I plan on doing. Eventually, when I find a good container, I'll have my husband lift it and put it, because that's how invasive the mint are. They're very invasive. So I do not recommend. Please, if you take anything from this video, do not put this in your raised beds in the ground, unless maybe if you live in the desert where almost nothing survives, then you might be able to get away with planting it inside a raised bed or a planter. But let me show you side by side what these beautiful little herbs look like and compare. Okay, you guys are now on my potting table that I plan on using more often just because it's very at the perfect height. And I'm working on this little area to start growing a small little garden to share with you guys. So let me see. I want to know if you guys can tell the difference. I'm going to try to zoom you guys in. Okay, that's much closer, and I'm sure I'm going to take a leaf from each one so you guys can see. To point out, look, this is the lemon balm, and you can see that there's a little stem up to the leaf. I'm sorry, up to the leaf. This one, the stem is very short. Very short. It's almost coming directly from its natural stem. The leaf is coming directly from the stem, where this one has an additional stem to the leaf. This is the mint, so it's a lot. Let me move you guys a little bit. There we go. So let's take it from this side. And the lemon balm is actually wider. It has more curves to the leaves. This one has sharper, pointy curves, but they're much smaller. I hope you guys can see that. And the real comparison or the real giveaway, I would say it would be the smell. Two completely different smells. This one, the mint smells a little bit more menthol. And this one, obviously, like I mentioned, it smells very citrusy. And that's why they call it lemon balm. But there is a difference. And hopefully this video helps you identify this herb when you see it out in the wild, when you see it in the garden, when you go to the garden center to purchase not lemon, when you go to the garden center just to purchase some herbs and fruits, you will notice the difference. You won't confuse it. Lemon balm is actually known for a lot of health benefits, stress. If actually stress is the biggest one. Mint is known for helping your digestive system. If you're constipated, if you have stomach aches, different digestive system benefits. They both are great for your immune system. So if you accidentally take either or, they're both going to have a benefit to it. Well, I try to make this video as short as possible with as much information as possible. I hope that this was informative. Hopefully you guys are taking a little bit from this video. If you're new here, I should have introduced myself at the beginning of the video. Hi, my name is Diana. I'm here with Garden Love. I've been growing for the past 10 years, and this is my passion. I love this community, and I would love for you to join. If not, maybe I'll see you in the next video. Well, for now, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna plant this next, so let's get to it.